You're watching TelecomTV from SDN World Congress 2016. And I'm joined now by Prodip Sen, who is CTO of Network Functions Virtualization at Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Prodip, thanks for joining us again on TelecomTV.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We are going to be talking about the role of Telco Cloud on the path that service providers are going to be taking to 5G. Before we do that, though, when we talk about Telco Cloud, what exactly do we mean? Because it can mean different things to different people. Are we looking at a convergence of services in a hyperscale environment? Are we looking at a distributed cloud where operators can deploy their services as close as necessary? Or are we looking at a hybrid or a combination of the two?
So in a sense, it's a bit of both. But I'd like to think of it a little differently. The typical cloud, which came from the enterprise world, was about hyperscale, was about centralizing things and doing things centrally to a larger group of applications and users. The telecom environment is a little different because, first of all, the range of applications you want to support here are wide. There's a huge range of applications and they differ very much in their performance requirements. They're not all the same kind of web apps which typically have when you have a web scale provider. And so some applications, some functions need to be at the edge of the network because of the stringent performance requirements. Others can benefit from scale and be back further in the network. So a telecom provider needs the ability to have this cloud environment or have a virtualized environment at various places in the network. So it has to be distributed. So we like to think of it as a differentiated cloud is how I like to speak about it, in the sense that you have to tailor the pieces, the cloudlets, so to speak, to the different needs. And so the telco cloud is really about taking a typical cloud, distributing it, but distributing it based on constraints.
Very clear. So for an operator, how can they use the Telco Cloud and SDN NFV readiness to become 5G enabled, to become ready for 5G services?
So 5G is another buzzword which we've been hearing about for a while. And I like to think about 5G as something beyond just the radio technology from which it emerged. Because if you look at what the 5G architectures being worked on are, they're transforming all parts of the network. It's not just the edge of the network, it's not just the radio access. You're talking about using SDN, using NFV, all of these things as part of the overall 5G architecture. So what that means is that something I think I said earlier when we were talking is that you have to think holistically and then apply it to specific needs. So for 5G, you need all of these things to work together. That's the most important thing. You need SDN because you need to be able to add dynamicity to the network. You need NFV because you need flexibility in the network. And you need performance, so you need to have things like mobile edge computing. But all of these things, if they're isolated, don't help you at all. The communication service provider needs to be able to put these together in support of the services they offer. So I think that's what the Telco Cloud is all about. That's what applying that to 5G is all about.
So what portion of a typical communication service provider's business is running on Telco Cloud infrastructure today, and how might that change and evolve over the next 2 or 3 years?
So communication service providers have been, I'd say, dabbling in cloud in various parts of what they do. So internally in their own operations, in their IT centers, some have started to use the cloud techniques. Others have been doing that in their enterprise-focused businesses. But to get to the telco cloud, which we're talking about, they really need to make a much bigger change, a much more wholesale change, so to speak, and apply this to all parts of their business. So I would say communication service providers have started on that journey, but the journey is still ahead.
Prodip, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.